Well, all right. All right. Welcome, Steeler Nation. Welcome, Steeler Nation. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the post-game show. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and you know we're about to dive into this thing. Give me just a moment, guys. You know how I do. I have to send the link out to a few special people. And once we're done with that, we're going to be on to this football game. We're going to talk about it. I'll give you my quick thoughts, chat it up a little bit. I'm sure some of you guys would like to call. I see we got one call already in the queue, so I will definitely allow some time for you guys to call in. And you guys know, like I said, man, the goal for me is to not go beyond an hour. Doesn't mean the show will be an entire hour, but that's the goal. Hard stop at 1 hour. Give you guys at least that amount of time. So, all right, give me a second, man. Let me send this link out. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. One moment. Got one or two more texts, guys, to send out, and then we's on and popping. As you guys see, I'm using some Madden footage right there for my thumbnail. You know, I was able to get a nice screenshot right there. All right, 1 second, guys. I'm almost done, man. I promise we're going to be on our way in just a second. All right, so I sent it to Leonard, Floyd, Jamar, Tony, and Kenyon. I know they probably already in here, but I sent it to them guys for good measure. So, all right, Steeler Nation, what's good, man? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling about the win tonight? Pittsburgh Steelers are able to get off the snide, if you will. We get a win, and in wonderful fashion. You know, I know a lot of you guys, like myself, you pride yourself in saying that your team plays very well in prime time, as the Pittsburgh Steelers definitely do. We showed up again. And, you know, it's just good to get the monkey off your back, man. But give me another second, guys. I got to remember here, I need to send it out via Twitter as well. So we're about to get started. I promise you guys. Here we go. It is sent. All right, so let's do the quick roll call really quick, man. Let's see who's up in here early and often. Michael Garman, the first one in. What's up, Mike? All the above. Logan Delarenzo, Taquan Wiggins, Vista Light, K Smooth, Smitty753, Joe Massa, Anthony Nava, Fun Guy, Railfax, Milton Buckner, Solarverse 6, Garon Williamson, Tristan Cooper, Eli Coolin, The Pokemon, Jay Will, Jesse George, Verducci, man. What's up, Verducci? I haven't seen you in a while, I don't believe. But what's going on with you? Reggie Carter in the building, my brother Tony in the building. And I'm sure Kenyon will pop up in here as well. All right, so let's do it. Let's talk about it. What a game, man. What a game. I mean, let's just start with that. But you know what we're going to do? We always talk about the first drive, first defensive series, first offensive series, and then I will go into some keys of the game, and there's quite a few. So let's go with the first defensive possession. The Steelers get the Bengals into a third down. The Bengals go empty, and they hit Eifert against Barron. All right? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about Barron. Also, keep this in mind. I'm going to talk about the empty set and the problems that it seems to give the Pittsburgh Steelers. Butler blitzes Hilton on the first down, and after the conversion, Bush gets his first sack on inside linebacker blitz, and Steelers get the Bengals in the 3rd and 14, and they get off the field. All right, so that was good to see you on the first possession. Looks like we were going to keep that drive going, but we did get off the field, got him back into a 3rd and 14. Great. First offensive drive. Deontay Johnson fumbles and turns the ball over. As soon as that happened, I'm shaking my head, and I'm thinking, it's going to be one of those games, right? Offense looked very bleak. And I'm thinking it's just going to be one of those terrible games, man. You know, and no pun intended with the title of the video here. But I thought it was going to be a terrible game. Then all of a sudden, here we are. And now we get into the meat of the keys of the game. And I'm no particular order, guys, so I'm just going to throw a couple things out there. Let's talk about the Steelers that scored their first touchdown on a sprint out with Mason Rudolph. First and foremost, I got to give a round of applause to Randy Fichtner. Let's give Randy Fichtner a round of applause. Hey, man. Fichtner called a heck of a game, bruh. Heck of a game. Bruh. Let me tell you what happened in this game from an offensive standpoint. I'm going to make an analogy, and some of you guys may or may not agree, but follow me here. What we saw in this game, albeit that it was against the Bengals, we're going to talk about that too. But what we saw offensively in this game, it reminds me of what the Baltimore Ravens had to do when they decided to bring Lamar Jackson in full time and they elected to go away from Joe Flacco. If I'm not mistaken, Flacco got hurt. But then I think, even when he came back, if I'm not mistaken, Jackson kept the position, right? Am I right on that? I vaguely remember that. But I basically remember Flacco basically losing his job, and I think it was because of injury. Jackson comes in, and the Ravens become this team that's just run right, run left, read option, quarterback run, quarterback draw, occasional play action, and nobody could stop it. They changed their entire scheme to fit Lamar Jackson. Fast forward to what we saw tonight. Perhaps it was 1 week too late. Perhaps Randy Fichtner didn't want to go, do too many things in his first start last week because it looked more like a Ben Roethlisberger type of offense last week. And you would expect that. You spend all offseason training with the starting quarterback, your franchise guy. Obviously, the game plan is going to be to his liking. And then young Mason Rudolph has to come in and take over and start. Of course, it's not going to be fully in sync on his first start. You got to keep in consideration his jitters and all of that. Even though Mason Rudolph never seems to see, never appears that the moment is too big for him, right? And that's what I love about that kid. Fast forward to tonight. We saw a lot of stuff that we have not seen the Pittsburgh Steelers do in quite some time. Some things that I have never really seen the Steelers do in my time following the team. I know we did a couple little tricky things with Randall L., a couple little non-conventional things with Slash, Cordell Stewart, for you guys that don't know him as Slash, which you should. But not quite what we saw tonight. All of that jet motion, all of the ghost motion, the sprint out, the touchdown pass to Connor. Bruh. Loved it. I loved every bit of what I saw tonight. And it did seem like at times I felt like I was afraid that we were going to get too repetitive, with some of the, the little toss. I don't even know what you call it. They consider it a completion, but when the guy comes in motion and you just toss it to him, and then running the Wildcat a lot with Jalen Samuels, I wasn't sure if we were going to stick to it a bit too much, but it seemed to continue to work. Great game plan. It was great design by Randy Fichtner, getting Mason Rudolph very, very comfortable. And then just when the Cincinnati Bengals think that we're going to continue to run the ball, because at this point we're up 2 touchdowns, I believe it was 17-3. Beautiful time, Randy Fichtner, to call that over route to Johnson. He becomes wide open because the 2 defenders were conflicted. Safety didn't follow him, nor did the corner switch. And bam, Johnson is wide open. Mason Rudolph puts it right on him. I don't know why he jumped for the ball. I'm not going to criticize him too much, but it kind of reminds me, you guys will remember this, back in, when we played Denver last year, it kind of reminds me when Washington went and jumped for the ball when all he had to do was run through it, and that would have been a touchdown, right? Almost also reminded me, not quite the same about that play that we saw this year when Washington stepped out of bounds. I had that feeling for a moment, like you don't need to jump here, thinking maybe he's going to lose his momentum, but he does, gets into the end zone, no harm, no foul. But great design by Randy Fichtner. And again, man, there was a lot of little things that I saw in the trenches that we were trying to run. And there were some times, man, that I didn't necessarily like what Randy Fichtner did. Kenyon actually pointed it out. We were texting each other during the game, and Kenyon even said, on that timeout, Tomlin, got to give Tomlin some blame here. Again, guys, I'm always going to criticize things that I don't like about our coaching staff and or players, even in victory. We got to get better with clock management. I know I'm going off the rail here for a moment, but I swear I'll get right back to the point. The timeout in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken, I have this here as one of my keys. I think it was in the first quarter. Yes, I have my note right here, so I'll read it to you exactly how I wrote it. Steelers are faced with a 4th and 1 on their second possession. Tomlin burns a timeout before running the 4th and 1. Steelers failed to get the first down. Looked like the play before the timeout was a play action. And like Kenya said, he believes it might have been a play action boot. Defense holds, and Hayden drops a pick. Come on, Hayden, you got to get that one. But at least we were able to hold after that, even giving them the short field. But my whole point is with that is, man, I didn't like them going against their gut. You know, and sometimes some people don't like play action. I don't mind play action in that situation because the world thinks you're going to run, especially Pittsburgh Steelers team. Of course, they think we're going to run because we're very predictable in that manner, right? And speaking of Denver last year, think about what we ran when Grimble, okay? Think about what we ran when Grimble should have scored a touchdown before fumbling through the end zone. Was a beautifully designed fake. Faked everybody. And Grimble was off to the races and should have gotten to the end zone had he not tried to be Mr. Big Shot and run dude over. All he had to do was step into the end zone. But that's in the past. But just to make my point, I don't mind play action on a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, because most people think traditionally the analytics say you're going to run. And especially with a Pittsburgh Steelers team, because Randy Fichtner usually hands it off like he did after the timeout and ran right up the middle, and you knew that wasn't going to work. Well, I know. I always tell you guys not to be results driven, and here I am being biased on the result. But it's the truth. That up the middle at that moment, the way they packed the line of scrimmage, you got big boy Billings right there, and the other dudes in the front. You know, I like that formation that they were running when they had all of the meat, 3D tackles in the middle, and then you had your guys on the outside. That was a very, very unique, way of running that defense that was shutting us down at times. But we were able to pick the run game up later. But anyway, I have to blame Tomlin right there. I don't know what the timeout was for. I don't know if they thought that Mason Rudolph was going to rush it, or if they didn't feel comfortable with the play they had called. Because as we saw, they continued to run the play before the whistle was blown, and you saw that it was going to be play action. Then we turn around and hand it off to Connor, and we stall. So little things like that, we have to be better at taking chances or not being so predictable. And again, I have to criticize Tomlin even in the loss for that. But where we got to give Tomlin credit, and I want to hear from you guys who hate Mike Tomlin. All of those cliches that y'all talk about, I ain't see that tonight. What are the cliches? The sub 500 or under 500 teams the Steelers lose to, okay? His record says that, but I'm just saying. Sometimes it's cliches because it doesn't always mean that they can't get it done. Here's the other cliche. He doesn't have his team ready to play. Did they have a team ready to play tonight? I'm just saying. I want to hear it. I want the same energy from you guys who completely hate Mike Tomlin or whoever else on that staff, even in victory, like I just did tonight. I still criticize one thing that he did, even in victory, and also with Butler. Let me move on, man, because I'm talking too much. Let's get on to some other things I want to talk about. Speaking of Butler, I'm getting sick and tired of this Mike Hilton blitz. And Mike Hilton had a great game, by the way, okay? He made some great plays. He had some pass breakups, made some great tackles, very solid tackles. Those little plays that people don't really pay attention to, that might not make the highlight film. Mike Hilton had a good game tonight. But Keith Butler, listen to me and listen to me good if you happen to see this, which I know you won't, but who knows? Anything's possible. This is the internet, right? Can we please stop blitzing Mike Hilton so regularly? And if we're going to blitz him, can we kind of disguise it a little bit, sir? And as we saw tonight, when guys know it's coming and you got a pretty solid or a pretty big body type of running back, did you guys see how many times Mike Hilton got laid out flattened. There was one time where Mixon, oh my God, it was like he hit a brick wall. Can we please stop doing that, Keith Butler, where everybody knows it's coming? Can we at least disguise it a little bit? Can we at least go back to the old days when Troy used to fake and come up and go back and fake and come up, something? Can you bring it from a different angle or a delayed blitz, something? I just need you to disguise that a little better because it's not getting home. The Hilton blitz is not getting home. So by now, maybe we can scale that back a little bit. Thank you. Because like I said, Hilton made plays in coverage. He made plays in open field. Can't do that if he's blitzing. Not saying we can't do it, but come on, man. We've seen so far that it's not really working. So let's scale that back a little bit. However, you did not blitz Minkah Fitzpatrick. Or maybe he did once or twice, but not nowhere near what he did last week. Thank you for that. Maybe you did listen to the show last week. I don't know. All right, moving right along, man. What else? Mark Barron. Mark Barron is a liability in coverage, folks. Let me take a sip of water and let you ponder on that because I know some of you guys are going to say he got an interception, but ponder on what I just said. Yes, Mark Barron is a liability in coverage. Even in the plays that weren't successful, you saw that he's just a liability. And listen, that's probably just not his game anymore. I remember Kenyon telling me, and Kenyon reminded me tonight, when we signed him, he said the same thing, man. Pay attention to how the Rams used him, right? They started getting him off of the field in past situations. They did. If you go back and look at that season, they definitely did. Kenyon was right. Kenyon also reminded me that the Bengals head coach, excuse me, was with the Rams. He knows exactly who to attack. They were clearly attacking Mark Barron. I mean, sometimes they was even calling him out. And I'm not talking about the 26, the Mike. No. There was times where they were saying things that wasn't your traditional he's the Mike. And when they did that, that's who they went after. So clearly they had a game plan there. But he played decent enough. He played pretty good against the run. He made some tackles as well. I'm just saying, we got to find a way to, we're going to need another guy in the inside linebacker if we're wanting to keep two backers on the field, right? We're going to have to get another guy that can fill that void. Maybe it will be UG3 at some point. Barron is probably going to be the guy for this year. I don't think he'll be there next year. We'll see. He's serviceable, but clearly it looks like we definitely want to keep those two linebackers on the field because it helps. For some people who will wonder why you do that, even a sub package, it's because these guys are going to help against the run. Because, you rather have more, linebackers or big body guys more so than you have a secondary player to help against the run. So you have coverage for the run and pass. That's generally the idea in sub package football, right? So we're going to need another guy there, man, if we're going to keep both of them on the field. Now, speaking of a guy, Devin Bush, listen, again, not everybody pays attention to the little nuances. Devin Bush was all over the place. Devin Bush balled out tonight. Okay, I was happy to see him get his first sack, and the boy played good football tonight. All over the place. Behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, sniffing out screens. Devin Bush had a game. I can't wait to look at the stats, man, to see the final stat line. Y'all know who else played well tonight? Should I say it? Kenyon already knows what I'm going to say. Let me say it. Number 48. Because, like you guys know, Kenyon doesn't address him by his name yet. And you know what? I'm going to stick to tradition with Kenyon and myself and Tony in the chat. We're not going to call him by his name until he has more performances. Number 48 showed up, man. Got a nice little strip sack. I mean, they abused that defense. I mean, that offensive line. But the thing about number 48 and what I've always said, if 48 can do his one-trick pony routine and do it at a high level, I'm good with that. Give me that. Give me this, what you did tonight on a consistent basis while TJ eats on the other side. Because at this point, we know 48 is not the guy with a beautiful rip move or a swim or a spin. We saw a little bit of it in preseason, have not seen it again. He is a guy that is a speed rusher. Has, some success with speed to power from time to time, but not really. He is a guy who is a speed rusher. But hey, if you can be that on a consistent basis, 48, thank you. We'll take it. Because TJ is a man-child over there. Let's talk about him really quick. And I'm going to get through this really quick, guys. I promise you. We'll open up the phone queue. TJ Watt, man. I'm so proud as a fan that analyzes football the way I do. And I know Kenyon shares in this with me. And Tony as well. And some of you other guys. A lot of you other guys out here are crazy film rats like myself. But isn't it so gratifying, man, when it's somebody that we draft and you've kind of scouted, because when we realized where we were picking and we realized what the market was on edge rushers, and we very quickly realized that TJ Watt probably was going to be the guy that falls to us because he was the perfect project, only having really that one season where he started, had a great showing in that season, but he was kind of a project, had some injury concern. And then we started looking at his film, and we all were saying, guys like myself were saying, yo, there's something here with him. This dude has a motor. He might turn out to be an animal. Let's see. And it has come to fruition. Like, this dude is legitimately a threat. I think that whole coming up into his own, that's over. He's there. TJ has arrived to where I'm talking teams are going to have to now, and you saw it. You saw it, I believe, against San Francisco. The double teams are coming. He is that guy right now that can change a football game really quick if he gets going. Right? So I need 48 to just be that guy. Just be the guy that can be the one-trick pony every time out. And we got something. Everybody was balling tonight on the front end. And I know Cincinnati, let's talk about that real quick. Some people are going to say, well, it's the Bengals. They were 0-3 and blah, blah, blah. And they had a few injuries on the line. Okay, everybody's dealing with that. Also, if you look at it like this, which I never try to compare game to game because on any given Sunday, I have this conversation with Leonard all the time. Leonard will see a team blow out another team and then wonder why we're struggling, or vice versa. We blow out a team and then another team is struggling. It's any given Sunday. You know what I mean? Any given Sunday. Okay? When you line up against somebody else, sometimes matchups dictate things, effort, etc. It's any given Sunday. And look at how the Bengals played other teams. They played these other teams pretty tough, right? And then we came in there and we manhandled them. So you can say what you want. It's a divisional opponent. They knew what they were up against tonight, as did we. And we dismantled them. You heard me talk last week about us not winning the trenches. Oh, we won the trenches today, brother. I mean, at one point, I thought Oprah was out there just handing out sacks. You get a sack, you get a sack, you get a sack, you get a sack. My man Alulu get out there and get some bread. I mean, and oh God, Cam Hayward. Listen, Cam Hayward, man. I hope you guys watched that whole game. Did y'all see up 24 points in that last possession or two by the Bengals, where Cam destroys Andy Dalton, and then after that, they run a screenplay, and this dude chases the screen down about 10, 15 yards down the field and makes the tackle. Do you understand what type of man is doing that up by 24 points? You talk about effort. How does a man that size, that big, and just the mentality, his mental capacity to still be going that hard? That's what I'm talking about. That is a leader. Defense played well, man. Very, very well. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to say real quick before I open up to the queue. And I'm right on schedule, guys. We're about 24 minutes in. I love how we opened up the second drive. in the second half, and I have my notes here. I said still a score on the opening possession. 2 big runs by James Conner. Great improv by Mason Rudolph finding Vanette. Great reaction by Vanette to come back and get the catch. And then Samuel scores on the Wildcat play. That was a phenomenal drive. I talked about Rudolph hitting Johnson downfield. I talked about that. And then I got to point this out. 3rd and 3 late in the third quarter. Mason Rudolph had a chance to run for the first down, and he elected to pass. Little things like that he needs to clean up. You guys probably remember that. It probably was like around, I want to say about 6 minutes or so left in the third. It was 3rd and 3, and he got flushed out of the pocket a little bit, rolled to his right. I think he could have got those 3 yards, but he passed it to an inaccurate pass, and we had to kick. But, I want to see little things like that as he grows, realize, oh, yeah, I probably could get that. I could probably get that. Run, get that first down, keep the clock going. I think that's pretty much all I got, guys. Let me just make sure. Let me scan through my notes before I open it up to the phone queue. And one more person we got to talk about. Can you guys tell me what value Ryan Switzer brings to this team? We were having some fun in that group chat, and we said we were in harmony when we all were saying no rack Switzer. I mean, no disrespect, but Switzer he doesn't offer us anything. He's just not. I would like to see Deontay Johnson back there more. They put him out there one time, and it was a short punt, 20-something yard punt. He didn't get a chance. Let's see what he can do, man. He's shifty. I think about it. Antonio Brown was the same way. He was shifty. Guys like that can make something happen. Let's see it. Because Switzer just ain't offering us any field position right now. He's just not. And he's not showing up on offense, even though tonight, and I got to say this really quick too, because, Leonard texted me, and not picking on you, Leonard, but, I like to explain things that, everybody else might have the same question you had. He said, what's going on with James Washington? Did he even have a catch tonight? And my rebuttal to that was like, well, you must not be paying attention to the game plan. Mostly tonight, reception yards came via running back. There was the one big play to Johnson. There was the improv play to Vanette, and Vanette had 2 catches, I believe, tonight, 2 or 3. Juju had one couple here and there, but clearly the game plan tonight was short and sweet. Short and sweet. One look downfield, if nothing's there, you're checking it down. And the running backs were heavily involved. Heavily involved. So James Washington, to me, didn't do anything to say that he didn't have a good game. Nor did Juju. Nor did Johnson, even though Johnson got the touchdown. Nor did the tight ends. That wasn't the game plan. The game plan was nickel and dime, wildcat, the little quick toss plays, the quick pass inside, a little bit of trickery, with that little bringing 2 guys in motion, and then they flip it to Samuels. We ran that play like twice, and there you have it. Randy Fichtner came with an immaculate game plan tonight against the Bengals. Now, I don't want to see him stick to that. I want to see him get back to, when you're playing different teams, evolve. But I have nothing bad to say about Randy Fichtner tonight. Excellent job. And that's all I got, man. So let's get into, one last thing, and I'm going to open up the phone queue. Y'all know who else had a sneaky good game tonight? Minkah Fitzpatrick. Some of you guys might say, what am I talking about? I didn't hear his name. Exactly. Did y'all notice that the Bengals didn't take too many shots down the middle of the field? I ain't see it. I didn't see a lot of shots down the middle of the field. I think that has something to do with Minkah Fitzpatrick. I can't wait to get to all 22, man, because I really want to dissect and see what did we do on defense. What exactly did we do differently? I saw a couple wrinkles, but what were we doing on the back end? Was it just the pressure, or were we mixing up some things back there? Because you can't always see it from the TV view. All I know is there weren't too many shots down the middle of the field, and a lot of times when ball was being thrown, Our secondary was raw all over it. Even when a guy was open, I mean, a guy's going to come open in the NFL, guys. You scheme around it. You're not going to shut everything down. Well, we were not giving up big plays, and there was not a whole lot of yak after the catch. So there you have it. But all right, let's open up the phone queue, guys. I'm letting y'all know right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 already in the queue. Keep it short. In and out. Don't make me have to cut you off. Let's make the point and let's get out of here. All right? We got to allow everybody time to speak. And I'm just giving y'all a warning, early on, so y'all don't say, oh, that's messed up. If you're going too long, I'm going to have to mute and move on. So a minute or so and get up out of there. All right, man. First up, area code 412. You are live. What you got for us tonight, man? Hello, hello, hello. 412, 412.
Hey, Sim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What you got?
Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. I can't hear you on my side, but I'm just going to say what I think. I thought that. I'm sorry. I thought that the offensive game plan was great. In that you actually took a lot of my points. I was happy that they didn't challenge us downfield also. But I'll probably just listen to the show. Thanks for the show tonight. All right, bye.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling, guys. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm trying to unmute people and they're not being unmuted. So let's try the next one. Let's see if area code 812 comes through. Let's see. 812, 812. Nah. Something's going on with the phone queue, guys. Give me a second. Let me try something here. Let me try something. I'm going to close the browser. And I'm going to bring it back up. So y'all hold tight for a second. Hot second. Y'all know how technology is, man. Can y'all tell me, could y'all hear him? Could y'all hear Smitty? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear him. So at least I know if y'all can hear him on your end. I can hear him, but he still wasn't unmuted. It was very strange. You say yes. Okay. That was weird, man. So, all right, let me get back in here. Let me get back into the little studio here and see if it works. All right, let's see who we got first. Nah, man. It's not working, guys. And see, I'm afraid to... Hold on, let me try another browser. Give me a second. I'm afraid to end it because if I end it, what's going to happen is I can't go back into it because the way this program works, I can do one show per day. So if I end the episode, it's not going to allow me to sign back into it. But give me a second. What I'm going to try to do is sign into it using another browser really quick. Really quick, guys. Bear with me, man. It's live. Y'all know how things go when it's live? That's the beauty of it. All right, 1 second. Here we go. Got a different browser. And let's see what happens this go around. Not working, guys. I think it's Blog Talk, man. It's not my computer, clearly. It's Blog Talk. Sometimes, wait a minute. I might have somebody. Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Who's this? Area code what? 757? Hello. I don't know, guys. Oh, wait, there we go. Yeah.
We can't hear you for some reason.
Area code, is this 812? Can you hear me? Hold on. Whoever that is on the call, just start talking. It's weird, guys. Y'all can hear them. They can't hear me.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. And so can the fans. Hold on, let's try this again, man. This is crazy.
Yeah.
757, can you hear me? Yeah, guys, I don't know, man. I don't know
So
what's...
I'm watching you on my TV, and I got you on the phone, but I can't hear you through the phone. We can't hear the actual live stream through the phone.
All right, hold on, buddy. Technology, guys.
No problem.
All right, start talking, man. If you hear me. They can hear you. I just can't hear you in the phone, but go ahead. Go ahead, start talking. I know it's going to be a little delay here.
So, just quick point. I think that we should give a hand clap to Randy Fiegner for actually watching film on the Bengals this week.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that he actually took some time to, game plan against their front. That he knew what they were going to come in and try to do, and he game plan against it. That's simply all like offensive coordinators are supposed to do, and he finally did that this week. You could see him making conscious adjustments during the game to get the ball where he wanted it to be. I always have felt like, since the Seahawks game, I felt like our defense was better than they looked on the field. So kudos to them. But he needs to go ahead and make sure he changes that game plan for next week. That's awesome. Thanks.
All right, appreciate the call. I know you can hear me. For everybody else who might be listening, I don't know what's going on with the phone queue. I don't know what's happening there. It's not working. For whatever reason, Blog Talk is not accepting the input. When I try to unmute it, it's not working. Some guys are coming through, some are not. I'm going to try to shut it down one more time, and if it doesn't work, I'm just going to talk. I don't know what else to do. So let's try it one more time, man. I'm trying my best to get you guys in. Obviously, I can't shut down the computer. I don't think it's the computer because everything else is working. I just think it's Blog Talk Radio, man. I've had that problem with them in the past. Technology, guys. Technology. Y'all know how it goes. Well, hold on. Give me one more second. We'll see if it works. If not, we're just going to shut down the phone queue entirety. I think that was 757 who was just talking. All right, so let's try to grab this next caller. All right, 330. I can hear you, but you probably can't hear me on the phone. So just go ahead and start talking. Give us about a minute or so, and then drop off.
All right, 330. I can hear you.
But you're gonna have to mute that background though, because it's coming through double audio.
Just go ahead and start talking. Give us about a minute or so, and then drop off.
Get to talking.
Mute that background though, because it's coming through double audio.
This is crazy, guys. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let it go, man.
Hey, yo, what up, man?
All right, there we go.
Durant, man. I just wanted to let you know, man. Gameplay all together, they did good. They rallied through. This is what's shown that when you come together as a team, what can actually happen. And I like how they actually gave Mason Rudolph more of a opportunity to show his skills. They only was giving
Sound like it just cut him off, man. Yeah, guys, I don't know what's happening with the phone queue tonight, man. I have no clue. Guys are unable to hear me on the phone. So listen, if you guys are hearing me, obviously you're hearing me, you know, here in the computer. So I'm going to shut down the phone queue. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode as far as the phone queue. I will continue to talk here in the chat. So that we'll do it the old school way. Again, guys, I'm going to apologize because it's on my show, but it's blog talk, and they're going to get an earful after tonight because I ain't trying to have the same problem tomorrow on Terrible Towel Tuesday. All right, so let's go ahead and end it, and I'm going to see if it will let me.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Yeah, y'all, you hear the chime there. I'm going to see if it lets me jump back in there. It probably won't, but whatever. We're going to shut it down. So, guys, if you're hearing me online, which I'm sure you are because that's probably how you even know to call, let me apologize again. I'm sorry. The phone queue is not working. Hopefully, it's back up and running tomorrow. I'm going to get on them, call them, and let them know what's happening. So, my apologies. But go ahead. Just fire away your questions and things in the chat. You know, we still got a little bit of time. So, whatever y'all want me to kind of address, I will do it looking here at the chat. Van the Man says, shoot, I hear the frustration. My Dish Network cut the Fox channels. Oh, man. Yeah, I saw that. I saw them scrolling that when, watching TV last week. They said some of the channels would be missing. That really, really sucks, man. You're absolutely right. Nay says, I've seen 4 or 5 real PR and KR that were returnable. Yeah, see, to be fair, that could be something too, because Switzer definitely did fair catch some of those. So, I just still feel like he's just not offering any value, for what it's worth. But you make a fair point there. Sherman Slaughter says, Kenyon, I couldn't agree more with you. So Kenyon, I'm sure, said something very, very brilliant. It always does. Reggie Carter says, the thing about Switzer is he don't take any chances on these punts. Shaking my head like he literally fair catches everything. Yeah. The Pokemon says, I think we were still running too much of the same stuff. Would, if it worked tonight, but would like to see more downfield plays instead of waiting until third down to go downfield. I agree with you 100% there. Even though it was cute what Randy Fichtner was doing, it did start to feel a little repetitive. So you gotta kind of mix these things in. Smitty says the new tight end has great chemistry with Rudolph. That's why he looked good in my opinion. And he was also split wide. He was. I did see that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Vinette can offer us, man. We didn't talk about that, guys, because I didn't have an opportunity to do a pregame show. I went out of town this past weekend, so I tried to get one in. I just couldn't. Yeah, no McDonald tonight. Grimble on IR. This is going to be very interesting in terms of the tight end position. I saw Gentry had to come out there and play tonight. Let's hope these guys stay healthy. Let's see. Spacely 703 says Randy Fichtner called a hell of a game tonight. He did. I fully agree. William Jackson says, did you see the adjustment to empty sets? 2-man instead of cover 2 or Tampa 2 like it's been for years. Yeah, we did see some of that. That's why I said I can't wait to get the all 22 so I can really take a look at what we did. But we definitely were doing a little more of that. I still don't like how sometimes they still caught us in unfavorable matchups, like Barron being on a guy, but that's just a personnel thing. I liked more so when we were playing when we had Sutton out there more, instead of the sub package that includes Barron. That might be what we have to do going forward, especially if we get guys in down and distance. Rough House Boxing says, I think Fichtner heard color cries from last week and completely rewrote the script. And that set a tone offensively. Defense balled out. They did. Guys, defense. Yes, we did. We did a good job. And Butler threw some things out there. He definitely threw some disguises out there. So, like I said, I don't like to make haste judgments and react to everything until I see it. When I can look at it from the all 22, then I have more of an idea, and I got to kind of be fast on that. Here's the problem. We probably won't have it tomorrow. hopefully we will. But usually the All-22, it's like 2 days after the game. Now I can't remember how it works on a Monday night. I think it might be they just do all of the NFL games on like Tuesday, which is 2 days from Sunday. So I don't know if our game footage will be available by tomorrow for me to show on stream. I hope so. But either way, I'm definitely going to dive into it, man, and see exactly what we did. But Butler and Randy Fichtner had great games tonight. No question about that. What else y'all got, man? Let me see. Let me get somebody else who I haven't read. Oh, Siri thought I was talking to her. Y'all heard that? Marcus Jones says, Sim, AB will be back in Steeltown. That's interesting. That would be very interesting. I don't know how you make that happen, but I'm okay with the AB tactics, man, and his antics. Oh, let's appreciate that, man. Who just dropped that donation there, man? I believe it was the Pokemon, man. Round of applause to Pokemon for the donation. Definitely appreciate that. He says, glad to see the D play constantly through the whole game, and I love the trade. We are seeing Fitz. It's all about, and I believe, his filling the void. Yeah, I saw somebody earlier say, where was Fitzpatrick? But that's a good thing. If you're not hearing his name and you're not seeing these big plays given up down the middle of the field, both of the safeties were doing their job tonight, and Fitzpatrick was making some plays out there. It was one that he stopped the first down. A pass, about 8 yards or so, right on it, makes the tackle. He was playing his game. But I'm telling you, could be a combination of pressure, but absolutely because Minkah Fitzpatrick was back there. I really think he helped to neutralize those deep shots down the middle of the field. You didn't really see them. And there was times that Andy Dalton had time. The times that he had time, he didn't elect to go straight down the middle of the field. Y Diggy says, the defense looked like they were communicating a lot better tonight. They absolutely did. No question about that. Man, I'm pissed off that this phone queue ain't working, guys, man. I hate that. I just hope it's working tomorrow, man. Just to make sure. I'm gonna reboot my computer. But, that's just me grasping at straws there. I really don't believe it's a computer thing because none of this stuff should be working. Double T says, would like to see Moncrief ease back right about now, in my opinion. Why is that? What you think? And I'm not talking about his fumbles or nothing like that, or his drops, nothing like that. But what do you think Moncrief brings to the table? Like, legitimately, I really want to know. Why do you want to see him back in the fold? Mark White says, I hope we can keep Hargrave. Yeah, man. Hargrave is going to have a price. He's going to have a big price tag. William Jackson, I'm going to come back and read that comment, but first we got to give a round of applause, man, to Rough House Boxing TV for the donation. Appreciate that, sir. He says, it's been a good last couple of days, starting with the Spence Porter fight, then the Baltimore Ratbirds lose yesterday, and we get a much-needed win tonight. Absolutely, man. What a fight that was, right? What a fight. And I'll speak on that really, really quick. I know this ain't the show for that. I didn't think that Earl Spence would fight in a phone booth like that. I thought he was going to use Porter's aggression against him, box more, because I thought Spence would win the fight on his boxing skills. Porter does kind of dictate his opponent and makes him fight like him, but I didn't think that Spence would fall into that. He did. It was a close fight, and that, to me, shows me how good he really is. He was able to adapt to that style and still came out on top. Great knockdown in the 11th. That left hook, that probably was what edged it, but it was just good to see him win in a different way. You know what I mean? So that was a great fight. Let's go back to what William Jackson said. He said, Steve Nelson really been an unsung hero. Had a penalty tonight, but mostly he's more or less been a silent assassin. If he's on Metcalf instead of Edmonds last week, 2 weeks ago, maybe that's not a touchdown given up. You're absolutely right. And I think we said that following that show. Steven Nelson shut down Metcalf. And got to give kudos to Seattle and Russell Wilson with a perfect throw. And Edmonds didn't even really have bad coverage. It's just they took advantage of that matchup. It wasn't Nelson. And they got the job done, man. And that's the thing. We've been in these games, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been in these last few games. New England Patriots beat the brakes off us, obviously, but this gives me a little small glimmer of hope, especially seeing where the division is. If somehow we can beat the Ravens, and we'll talk a little more about that tomorrow, but if somehow we could do that, we right back in it. You know, we're not completely out of it. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna be optimistic based off of tonight's success, because again, I still see a team that's a little stagnant in terms of, you know, we're not an efficient offense, if you will. It worked tonight, but there's still things that I'm seeing that if we play a different team, perhaps, might not go the same way, and our defense is really going to have to ball like that every week. Can we honestly say that we think that's going to happen? No. They got to prove it more. But what is happening is the defense getting 8 sacks, and they piling up sacks. They're getting turnovers. They're well on their way to getting more turnovers than we created last year. But is it going to be enough? You know, we still got to ease Mason Rudolph into the fold, and maybe these next couple days, you know, we get to the bye, maybe it's a different season, but we shall see. You know, I'm not going to be overly optimistic at the moment. Railfax says it's going to be a real interesting to see us craft a defensive game plan against the Ravens. Got to think Bush could be spying Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I can see that. Marcus Jones says communication in the secondary is solved. Fitzpatrick has solved it. Him and Edmonds are going to be great together. I think they will have a very good possibility of that. What's up, Debbie? Debbie says, and Juju wasn't the focus of the game played today. You're absolutely right. And here's the difference. And I know somebody said that AB would be back in the Steel Town, but here's the difference. I don't think you're going to hear Juju have any type of complaints about that. None. I don't think any of the receivers complained tonight because, again, we clearly had a game plan. And they stuck to it. And they took the shot when they knew the shot was going to be there. Beautifully called game. I just had a problem with that 4th and 1. That was the only one I didn't like because I just didn't like them second guessing themselves, calling a timeout that early, because then we lost the timeout on that pass interference, which was bogus. That was a oh my God, how could I forget that? Bogus pass interference called on Holton. We lost that. And I don't know, how do you get it overturned, man? Because some of these things, they always talk about it has to be clear and obvious. Well, that should have been clear and obvious that it was not pass interference. But I was scared, man, at the fact that we lost that timeout. And again, Tomlin had already taken one. So I was like, here we go. But, you know, in the long run, it didn't hurt us. Dortier Straw says, is the tandem of Connor and Samuels going to continue? It will for a while. You know, we still got Connor, his 3rd year? You know, I'm pretty sure if he has a pretty decent season, the best thing to do is to try to go ahead and re-sign him this year. You got Samuels for 2 more years, so we'll probably see that combination. Samuels, look, man, even in the passing game, Samuels showed his value, and he showed why Randy Fichtner needs to feature him more. You know, if there's anybody that can potentially give us the production that Le'Veon Bell gave us in the passing game, it's Samuels more so than Connor. That's what he did in college. You know, this dude lined up everywhere, but they even put him at tight end at times. H-back. The dude can catch, and he's definitely a receiving back. Let's utilize that a little more. Thank you, Randy Fichtner, for finally doing it. Anthony Sloan says, the main thing tonight was the finally got into rhythm. Now we know what we're capable of when we are in rhythm. And that's the one other thing I did want to discuss, man, about the Bengals. And I'm going to go ahead and close this thing down here in about 3 or 4 minutes. It was the Bengals, but again, guys, it's not like they're not a talented team. It's not like they don't have capable guys on defense. They got some dogs out there. It's not like they don't have a talented offense, even without A.J. Green. Joe Mixon, we did a pretty good job putting a bottle cap on the run. You know, we gave up a couple runs for here and there, 8-9 yards, but We did a much better job. I actually think Cincinnati should have stuck to the run a little more to at least test that. They kind of got away from it. But it's not like these guys aren't talented. Eifert is talented. Boyd is talented. That kid Tate, y'all know I know all about him being where he went to college. He's talented dudes. Big boy. You know what I mean? And Andy Dalton, I mean, he's a serviceable quarterback. Not the greatest in the world, but I get it. You're going to say it was just the Bengals, but like I said, they played some of their other games tight this year. This is a divisional opponent with talent, and we were able to dominate them as we should have. Excuse me. Let me see. Yeah, Edmonds and Bush, man. And Kenyon is texting me, and so I don't forget. The way those guys were playing the screen game, man. There's a lot of effort out there tonight. A lot. Devin Bush had a phenomenal game. I can't wait to see what his total tackles were. Had a phenomenal game, man. Edmonds was, like he said, like Kenyon said, was playing the screen game. Mike Hilton had a great overall game. Just played a great team game tonight, man. And like my man here in the chat just said, it kind of showed us what the Steelers could possibly do. I'm going to say this, though. I'm still not sold on that offense. That was a very detailed game plan for this week. I don't know if I like that offense going forward. Maybe, like I said, could be a situation like last year where you dramatically change the plan because there's a new quarterback, and that's what the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson last year, and it worked. But I'm just not sure what we saw tonight is going to fly that often. It could, but I'm going to pump my brakes. Again, I'm not a results type of guy where I automatically think, oh, now we're going to win the division. No. We got the Ravens. A big test is coming. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, but big test coming this next week because we can't afford to drop another game right now, you know, in the division. If we can somehow get that game and end up 2-3, and then maybe you keep the mojo going the next week. If we can get into the bye 3-3, anything's possible. But that's about it, man. Let me see what else you guys got. Again, I'm sorry, you guys, man. Sorry the phone queue was not working. Jesse George says, I like our running back trio, and when Vince comes back, a middle linebacking corp will be great. Yeah, it will, but still, it's gonna concern me on passing downs when we got both inside linebackers there, because having Vince Williams there is pretty much gonna be the same situation as Mark Barron in pass coverage. But we'll see. I think we might have to do a little more dime, you know, where we're getting Cam Sutton on the field and we're a little more vulnerable to the run, but you're keeping Devin Bush in the middle. You know, I think we're going to have to focus on that a little more, or maybe, I don't want to do this, but maybe they find some unique ways to get Minka playing a little closer to the box or something where he's carrying some of these guys, you know, instead of it being Mark Barron. But then, you're leaving the back end more susceptible to something. So, I don't know. I think dime might be the answer, you know, where you get an extra DB in obvious passing situations early in the game, not just doing it late, you know, because again, Mark Barron, when he's out there, he's a bit of a liability. I just don't like that, but that's all I got for that, man, right there. Let me see. Anything else y'all got, man? We got literally a minute and 15 seconds left. Nays, Grimble is on IR. You keep talking about putting these tight ends at fullback, man. Grimble can't. He can't. He's on IR. He's not even available to play. Real Fact says Minka needs to stay in the back end. Edmonds and Barron are a nightmare back end. Facts, Real Facts. Facts. Rick Packett says, I was at the Niner game when Tua left the game for a while. Steelers lost their edge. Yeah, Debbie just pointed it out as well. Grimble is on IR. But yeah, man, it's a defense. Listen, I'm going to say this now, and I think I can end the show with this. And we'll talk again tomorrow. Our defense, I think, is going to come around, man. I really think that this defense has a chance to be a solid defense. I don't know how good they'll be this year. Again, I don't have these lofty expectations. I look at things realistically. I think the defense is coming together. I think they will gradually get better and better. We got speed out there now. We got better coverage out there. Joe Hayden got a PI. That was PI, Joe Hayden. But it was better than giving up a touchdown. But it shows you that he can get beat over the top, which we all know that now. And Steven Nelson's pass interference was a little tick-tacky. But we got better coverage there. We got Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's going to make a tremendous difference, even more so than he's doing now. I think he's going to help Edmonds. Edmonds is going to play smarter, I believe, having a guy like Minkah back there with him. Devin Bush is already showing you what he's capable of doing around and behind the line of scrimmage and in the pass game. Okay, Mike Hilton is getting back into form, looking like a guy that can sniff out underneath things, screens, secure tackles. He's looking like a guy that'll be able to do that, getting a couple PBUs in the game. We haven't seen that in a while from him, right? And obviously, you know what we got in TJ Watt. So right there, I'm giving you components, and then you got the X factors. Like, and I say X factors because some games he balls out, some games he don't. You got Tuitt. Tuitt is looking like more like Stephon Tuitt this year. Stephon Tuitt, man. If you get a chance, if any of you guys got Game Pass, Stephon Tuitt has been unblockable. This dude is terrorizing people. And Cam Hayward being Cam Hayward and Javon Hargrave showing up. I'm telling you, we have the talent right now to be a very solid defense. It's all going to come down to is can the defense keep us in the game and can we muster enough offense to take leads? You know, if we can keep teams to 20 points or less, I think the Steelers right now are capable of scoring 21 or more points. Maybe not 30, but I think we're capable of scoring 21. So if we can hold teams to 20 or less, we'll have a shot against anybody. But we still got some teams to play. Rams scare me, even though that's the same offense that they will face that they saw tonight. But there's still some teams that scare me out there. So I don't know how far we're going to go. We only have one victory, folks. But, you know, at least we can feel better about the team. And, hey, if we get the win next week, we'll see. But, all right, man, I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing down. What y'all talk about here? Let me see. Did Nays say something else? Nays, you be having some wild ideas, man. But I love it, man. I love everybody's opinion. It's just that. It's just an opinion. What y'all talking about, man? Well, I see Kenya said, "Oh my God, Vanette is that person." Who you responding to, Kenya? I'll stay here for just a moment. Then you said they traded for him. Who y'all talking about? Oh, Nay says Vanette will start at tight end. No, he won't, man. Vance McDonald, if he's healthy, will be the starter. Come on, man. You know how the Steelers work. Don't act like we saw enough out of Vanette tonight that makes him the starter. Even though I liked what he did bring to the table. Don't act like if Vance McDonald was healthy that he would start. Besides, the Steelers basically start two tight ends anyway. You know, you have your 1 and your 2, which plays quite often. McDonald is glad. Yeah, but I feel you though, Nays. I feel what you're saying, man. But listen, you know, James Conner could be classified as that as well, as a guy who seems to get dinged up a lot. And, you know, sometimes it is what it is. I try not to criticize players. You know, being a guy who played football and have dealt with my share of injuries and things like that, nah, I don't go down that road. Especially not with these professional athletes. You see how big and strong and fast and how much these collisions. I would never get on a player for getting hurt. I will acknowledge that some players seem to be more prone to injury than others, but bruh, let's try all of us. Let's go out there and play a few minutes in the NFL and see how we feel. See how many of us come back with an injury. I'm just saying. So I'll never go at players like that. But yeah, man, let me get out of here, man, because we're already past my time. We're at 1 hour and 4 minutes, so we're going to shut it down right now. Once again, if you're new to the channel, if you enjoyed what we did here tonight, Thank you for coming by. Normally we have a phone queue available. It just wasn't working appropriately for us earlier. So I got to scream at Blog Talk now to get my phone queue back in order. Hopefully tomorrow it will be in order. So if you guys don't know what I'm referring to, I do Terrible Towel Tuesday on a normal basis. That's normally when we talk about the upcoming opponent. We look at some film from the previous game. I don't know if tonight's game will be available by tomorrow. Probably not. So let me set that expectation. But we'll just talk a little more about this game because I will at least have an opportunity to watch the full game again. I just won't have the coach's film as early as tomorrow. And then we'll look ahead to Baltimore. All right, so that's what we do on Tuesday. So make sure you come back tomorrow. That starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be ready to rock then. Hopefully the phone queue will be up and running. But other than that, subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button, guys. You've helped me tremendously when you hit the like button. And cut on your notifications so you know when we're live and running. But other than that, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch a few of these post-game interviews. I'm going to go to sleep. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. But thank you for tuning in tonight for the Terrible Towel post-game show. See you tomorrow for Terrible Towel Tuesday. Y'all be good. God bless. Good night. Here we go, Steelers. Peace.